The Smash Ultimate scene has been changed greatly due to the current events in the world, and most offline events have ceased to exist. However, that doesn't mean people have not been improving at Ultimate during this time, and I feel like some players are getting much stronger than they were, even relative to other top players since last March. In today's video, I want to talk about who I think is going to be the best player when offline majors return, as well as 3 honorable mentions. But before we get into it, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Audible. Audible is the biggest audiobook site with an insanely large catalog full of books that you can search for and instantly start listening. I've personally been listening to the Hunger Games series because after I watched the movies, I really enjoyed them and I wanted to listen to the base material, and I've been very much so enjoying it so far. And Audible is offering a new service called Audible Plus. Audible Plus has an even wider catalog of not just audiobooks, but podcasts, Audible originals, and much more. And also, if you download audiobooks, you can even listen to them offline, anytime, anywhere. So if that sounds good and you're interested in trying Audible, I have some good news for you. You can text ESAM to 500-500 or go to audible.com/ESAM for a 1-month free trial. Again, that is audible.com/ESAM or text ESAM to 500-500, or alternatively, you can scroll down to the top of my description and click the link that is right there to start your free trial. Thank you again to Audible for sponsoring this video, but let us continue with who I think is going to be the best player when offline Ultimate returns. The first honorable mention is going to be Meister. Meister, obviously an incredibly talented player, top 10 on the PGR in the last season, I think was ranked number 2 of Wi-Fi players or online players. He's an incredibly strong competitor who has not stopped getting better. He has made a lot of his setups more clean, his edge guarding is super good, he's learning his character's ins and outs, even with, sometimes complaining about online. Game & Watch I think is obviously a strong character online, but at the same time, Meister is still an incredible player who constantly overcomes his bad matchups and scary situations because he personally is so clutch. Like, it doesn't matter how silly Game & Watch is, no one is able to reproduce the results that he has, and it is incredibly impressive, offline or not. I honestly think Meister has arguably the best advantage state in the entire scene. He hits people and kills them consistently, no matter who it is, no matter how good of a character you're playing, no matter how good of a disadvantage your character has. I feel like he's killed Zero Suits and Pikachus just for getting hit a single time and just leaving people on the edge and then getting really strong parry reads with down smash and stuff like that. He is incredible, and I definitely think he is, of course, he was already one of the strongest players offline, but I think online has made him even better. And when he's able to use that skill that he gained online back when he can react to everything and figure out how to kind of adapt to the current meta, I think he is going to be a threat, definitely one of my top 5 players on returning. My second honorable mention is going to be pretty strange for a lot of people, and that's going to be MKLeo. Of course, Leo, the dominant force of offline for the entirety of this game. He was, and still in a lot of people's opinion, is the #1 player with the most results and the best play and the most solid game plans in the entire world, and honestly, I can't necessarily disagree with them. Leo is an incredible player with the most clutch plays in Smash period, or at the very least Smash Ultimate period. He is incredible in every single aspect of his game, his offense, his neutral, his disadvantage, his decision making, his counter picks, his composure, his matchup knowledge is just top notch in every situation. His adaptation is crazy. Again, I'm pretty sure I've said this story before, but there was a situation at Shine 2019 when he got hit by a random new setup that I'd never seen before and that he'd probably never seen before against Scat's Mega Man, with like involving a spike and a weird tech chase on the wall, or sorry, not tech chase, like tech trap setup. And he got hit by it. And then the second time he saw the situation, having no ability to practice, like later that game or the next game, he successfully got around the exact same setup with an extra layer, just because Leo is so good at understanding the flow of the game to the point where I don't think any player can touch him in terms of that. When Leo is calm and confident, he wins. There's a reason why Game 4 Leo is the Smash Ultimate legend. He is just incredible and obviously an incredibly solid player, and I'm super down for him to continue to be the best when the game gets back. However, the reason I'm putting him not at #1 is because he hasn't been playing his main. He has not been playing Joker nearly as much as other players have been playing their mains, like let's say Tweak, who learned new characters and also kept playing Wario. You have Meister playing Game & Watch, and you have my #1 pick, Leo, later, he has been experimenting with other characters, whether it's Cloud or Byleth or sometimes playing Joker, but not really. So he hasn't been improving as much as the players beneath him are improving, like, to catch up to him. Again, I definitely think Leo could still easily be the #1 player when the game returns because he's Leo and he can just start beating people anyway. It doesn't matter how much people have improved. It doesn't matter that he might have to learn matchups because his adaptation is so fast and he is just such a talented player in general, but I do not currently think he's going to be the #1 player when offline returns. My last honorable mention, and honestly someone that I debated being the #1 player, like the person I was going to talk about in this video until I decided on my #1, and this is going to be Tweak. Of course, Tweak is a fantastic player. I think he is the #1 online player. He stopped entering events, which is why I don't think he was even ranked this last season on the online rankings, but I'm pretty sure he was #1 in the first one, or if he wasn't, he should have been. He is incredibly solid. He has so many characters he's good with. He picked up Diddy Kong and thinks Diddy Kong is broken, and he's been annihilating basically every single person he's played with that character. Of course, he still does have his other characters, like Wario, like Pokemon Trainer if he really needed to, or Wolf, even though I don't think he's going to because I'm pretty sure he said, like, I'm a Diddy main maybe with Wario secondary and that's it. He still has a slew of characters that if the meta really needed him to, he could pick up the characters he's played once before and be very successful with them. He is incredible at picking up new characters and finding success. He's incredible at honing his strategies and just figuring out the best way to play characters, or at the very least, very, very good ways to play his character, and his Diddy Kong is no exception. He is, I mean, a lot of people already thought Diddy was pretty good, but I feel like he's very much so spearheading that movement because his Diddy is ridiculous. He is so good. His guide was amazing. You should check it out or check out my reaction to the guide. Either way, I will link Tweak's video down below for that. He's just such a talented player with such a gifted mind for Smash, and also he plays Sephiroth, so he has a sword character. He has Diddy Kong, who's like a projectiles brawler, zoner, whiff punishing crazy character, and with Tweak's mind for the game, he could easily be the #1 player. Of course, he was already top 3, so it's not like that's a stretch anyway, but you know, Leo, Tweak, and the person I'm going to mention I really think could be the #1 player in the world, and it's just going to be how it shapes up with matchups. And also if Tweak can finally beat Leo because he has had very unfortunate sets against him, I think that could turn the tide for his confidence, and then he could start just annihilating everyone because Tweak has a very good record on most people anyway. I think Leo's basically his only demon. And for the person I think is going to be the #1 player when offline Smash returns is going to be my personal favorite player, and that is Zachary. Zachary, of course, was already a fantastic player. Top 10, similar to Meister. He's had major wins in terms of Big House and basically every major he enters in Japan. Not all of them, but like most of them, he's very, very good. And I feel like he kind of has an unfair edge because Japan handled the pandemic a bit better than North America, so he actually was able to play several offline events in the last 10 months. I always felt like Zachary was one of the best players in the world already and had very slight choking moments, like against Leo specifically, and then a couple of other occasions, you know, I'm very blessed to have beat him the only tournaments that we've ever played, but Zachary is just a monster at the game. He sees the game super well. Again, he also, like Tweak, has a plethora of strong characters because he has Rob, he has Wolf, he has Sephiroth, he has Joker, he has Mario, he has Game & Watch. Like, he has so many counter picks at his disposal that he constantly uses against different players, so it's not like they're just like, oh, week 1 picks and then I drop them. Like, no, his Game & Watch has proven to be good, his Mario has been proven to be good, his Joker and his Rob, of course, are his 2 most seasoned characters, and they have proven to be super good. And I honestly think with the advantage of having more offline events than Leo, Tweak, and Meister, which are my other 3 top contenders, I really, really do think that Zachary will be the best player. Because again, I feel like the more confidence he gets and the more victories he gets under his belt in Japan, the better he's going to be when it translates back to offline play in North America and he travels over here, or if North American players travel to Japan, depending on which one was safer first. I really, really think that Zachary could possibly be the best player in the world, and honestly, he works super hard. I love the kid, and I really, really hope that he lives up to my expectation, and hopefully now that I've talked about it, maybe your expectation as well. But again, let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'm very curious. I think the players that I mentioned will be top 4. I do think, again, other players are very strong. I think Samsora and Mars, of course, are very strong. The rest of the top 10, even like myself, I think are very, very strong contenders for coming back and being really, really good when the game comes out. But I think that these 4 players have a little bit of an advantage over the rest of us. So of course, as always, social media, Panda, and partner stuff is down below. Again, thank you to Audible for sponsoring this video. Check out the links in the description, and I will see you all next time.